everyone, Suzanne Knabe-Nicole here with Police Science Snippets number 187. Police Science Snippets are bits of information, mainly from academic research, that have been published mainly recently in the fields of evidence-based policing, police science, investigative psychology, forensic psychology, and other law enforcement-related research. So I bring this to you to make sure that you can apply it in your job. So there's only bits that I think are tangible and practical and can somehow be incorporated into your thinking or in your acting straight away. I also send them out straight into your inbox with a link to the original research, and actually articles 2 and 3 from this week are open access, which means you can read the entire article. With some of them, you can only read the abstract, which is a summary of the research and the findings. And even though you can click through to the link of where the abstract is, it depends on whether the publisher is making it available open access or not. That's unfortunately beyond my control. So if you want to get these emailed to you, and then you can also get the password to access the Police Science Dr. Reed page on the website, you can download all the previous PDFs with the snippets and just keep yourself a library and go through them and see which ones are relevant to your particular role, because obviously you guys have a lot of different roles in a lot of different countries, so there's not going to be necessarily something for you every week. So what I've got for this week is, first of all, VR in forensic training. Utilizing an interactive VR, as in virtual reality-based platform, for crime scene investigation training in forensic science education, using real case scenarios and head-mounted displays, led to significantly better immediate learning outcomes and retained knowledge more effectively over time compared to traditional teaching. It also elicited higher situational interest across novelty, exploration, intention, attention demand, and instant enjoyment without increasing cognitive load in students. So definitely worth using this VR-based training. Obviously, I don't know what the costs are, but in terms of teaching and teaching retention and an interest in the content, it had very positive effects compared to traditional teaching. The second snippet for this week is about measuring crime harm. In the UK, the Office of National Statistics uses mean sentencing outcomes rather than sentencing guidelines to quantify crime harm, which is problematic as it creates negative feedback loops. So without going into the article too deeply, my understanding of this is, so I'm familiar with the crime harm index and the Cambridge Crime Harm Index, which is where it started. So crime harm is a way of measuring or quantifying crime that's different to crime count. All over the world, crime is counted as an attempt to quantify how much crime is going on, and that's wrong. You can't count crime as if they were all created equal. When we have a disease, we can't say this is how many diseases we have, because you can have 5 colds in 1 year, which is far less harm usually than if you have 1 case of cancer in a year. We should be doing the same with crime. We can't say that a neighborhood where 2 murders have happened is much safer than a neighborhood where 100 shopliftings happened or 100 criminal damage or kidnappings have happened, because the count is very different, but the harm is also different. And what we need to look at is the crime harm. So the crime harm index, in order to quantify how harmful a crime is, uses sentencing guidelines that can be applied after somebody has been found guilty. Now, and this I didn't know, that the Office of National Statistics has a different measure, and they use mean sentencing outcomes. Now, again, without going into too much detail, the argument in this article is that it creates negative feedback loops and can lead to racial disparities. So anyone interested in that, this is quite relevant for crime analysts, evidence-based policing, anyone working with crime harm. You need to look at crime harm to identify where you're going to put your resources. Where is the most crime harm caused? Who's causing it? Who's experiencing it? That's where you should be sending your resources for the smartest allocation. So that's the second article this week. And number 3 is about gentrification and crime. Gentrification is associated with reduced property crime and is not associated with changes in violent crime. Looking at within tract changes, we find that years following gentrification of a given tract have lower property crime rates than the years preceding the gentrification, independent of the general reduction in crime over time. Okay, so gentrification does reduce property crime, but does not necessarily reduce violent crime. I don't know if that was violent crime in the streets or violent crime in homes. Okay, so those were the 3 snippets for this week, guys. Hope there was something in there for you. Again, if there wasn't, don't worry, because there'll be something next week, and I'm sure there's been something in all the preceding weeks. Just go into the read page and look at all the previous snippets there. In order to get access, get onto the email list, just Google police science, go to the Police Science Doctor website and put your details into the form that pops up, and there's no spam. And also, or put the you'll find the form at the bottom of each page if it doesn't pop up. So I hope to see you again next week, and until I do, stay safe and have a good week. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this content useful. You can get access to each episode's transcript with key learning points, timestamps, and references if you get yourself onto my mailing list. Just go to the main website on policesciencedoctor.com, and on the bottom of each page you will find a sign-up form for notifications of new content. Just enter your first name, your preferred email address, and the type of organization you work for. You will not get any spam. This is just for me to let you know about new content and for you to get access to all the transcripts.